Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Ryco Filters, Evans Waterless Coolants, and Pace Farm. G'day, I'm Fletch. Now, if you like your Holdens, well, you're going to love this. Well, it goes without saying, the Holden is about as Aussie as it gets when it comes time to motoring. It's a tradition. From the first 1948 FX215, Australia's own car. So, you better grab your football, your meat pie, your kangaroo, and your Holden car, because now it's time for this. Welcome to the 13th annual Geelong All Holden Day. Now, this year's event is one for the history books. It will always go down as the largest Holden show, not only in Victoria, but possibly in Australia. It's put on every year by the FXHZ Holden Car Club of Geelong, and it attracts people and their cars from hundreds of kilometres away. The demise of the Australian car production here in Australia may be upsetting enough, but these types of shows keep our dream alive. It provides us with a constant reminder of what these cars mean to us, how great they looked, and each vehicle is a key to unlocking thousands of combined stories to keep us enthused for many more years to come. Whether it's a Holden without a name, or upping the ante to a Kingswood, a luxurious statesman through to a Gemini, it doesn't really matter. If it's a Holden, chances are that model will be here today on show. And that's why I'm here. So let's go. First Holden of the day. How you doing, Al?
Good, Fletch. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Now, Big Bad HQ, 1971 model, right?
Yep. Yeah, sure is. 1971.
First of the batch.
First of, yeah.
Now, mate, apparently a little bird tells me now this car used to be pink. Now, what's going on there?
Well, when I bought it, it was a sort of a red, but it had faded so much. It was all pink. It had full pink interior. It was terrible,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Well, see, this is why I think it was worthy of an interview on Classic Restos, because this is a fantastic example of getting the horrible pink car, transforming it to how it looks today.
Yeah.
Now, engine-wise, did it always have the V8 in it?
Yeah, it always had the 308 in it. That's what it came out with, but it was pretty clapped out when we got it, and yeah, we'll sort of fixed it all up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't it, it certainly represents the era of the vehicle when we look back and we used to buy these cars clapped out, per se.
Yep.
We all remember times when these cars were traded in because they had a leaking radiator or the clutch slipped or something like that. Yeah. It would be wonderful to buy these cars today, and if that was all that was wrong with them.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful if we could buy them at them prices today as well, though. It's just they're going through the roof. So, but it's good fun. They're great to do. Really good to do. Good fun. Good at getting out with everyone, and yeah.
Now, backyard job?
No, not mostly. Mostly I have friends that do it and people that help.
Yep. It is amazing what you can do at home, though, which I have a lot of admiration for that.
Yeah. If you've got the room and the time and everything, you'd love to be able to do it, but yeah.
Now, looking around the back of the car, at a glance, it looks like it might be tubbed, but it's not. These have got huge rear quarters, don't they?
Yeah, they've got massive. The lips haven't been rolled on it. It hasn't been tubbed. Hasn't been anything. Yeah. So yeah, it's got the 9-inch in it and everything, of course.
What are the size of the tyres, Al?
255s. 255 60.
Yeah. It's a fair set of boots, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Looking through to the dashboard there, that GTS Dash HQ. It's a magnificent layout. I think they look great.
I do too, yeah. I absolutely love them. I used to have one when I was a kid as well. But yeah, now that I've got this one, I'm sort of right back into it again.
It's good. It takes us back to our childhood. These are the cars that we can remember when we were at school.
Yeah.
And
first car I ever owned was a HQ 2-door. Yeah. And then sort of with marriages and all that sort of stuff, and not marriages, but with white girlfriends and stuff. Ended up they didn't like it.
Sections of your life where sometimes these things they go away, and then they come back later on.
That's it. That's the way. I'd love to be able to find the original one, but never been able to.
Yeah. No, good on you, Al. Nice chatting, mate.
Yep, thank you. Thanks a lot for that.
It's nice to hear these little stories and how people come about with these cars. Good stuff, mate.
Yep, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Well, this is it. One of the largest Holden events in Australia. The 2017 Geelong All Holden Day, and you're seeing it first on Classic Restos. Back with more right after this.
Every weekend around Australia, motoring enthusiasts get together to share their passion for cars and bikes. It's a passion that brings us together. All sorts of people, all sorts of cars and bikes. From the classics of today to the classics of tomorrow. At Shannons, we understand enthusiasts. So when it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
If you have a restoration project, Hare and Forbes has the tools that you need. Look at these restoration products: shrinker stretchers, dollies, mallets, bead rollers, profile gauges, professional panel restoration kits, and so much more. Now I warn you, enter at your own risk because you will end up buying something. So come along to your Cap City store or browse and buy online at machineryhouse.com.au because Hare and Forbes has the range.
Evans Waterless Engine Coolants. Simple to install and stays good for the life of the engine. Suitable for all engine types, Evans contains no water, eliminating corrosion, vapour pressure and overheating. With a boiling point of 190 degrees Celsius, there's no application or environment too extreme. evanscoolants.com.au. Water for drinking, Evans for cooling.
Australia's changed over the last 80 years, and Ryco Filters has changed with it. But one thing stayed the same: Ryco's commitment to develop and test all our filters under Australian conditions. Today, we're proudly celebrating our 80-year commitment to a design philosophy that ensures all oil, air and fuel filters meet or exceed vehicle manufacturers' specifications, delivering genuine quality and performance you can trust. Ryco Filters, the professional's choice.
Okay, moving on through the incredible 2017 Geelong All Holden Day. How you doing, Rob?
Yeah, good, Fletch. Yourself?
Good, mate. Great. You know what, Rob? I'm going to make you Torana of the episode.
Fantastic.
The reason is because just for what it is. I mean, this is such a dead stock standard car. No one's got it. No one's dicked around with it. A beautiful example. 1971 LC. What can you tell us about it?
Very original car, very low mileage. I got it off a collector that was in the top end cars, Lamborghinis, GTs, and this was at the bottom of his tree.
Wow. He just didn't have that type of respect for this kind of vehicle, I guess.
I think he liked the plastic more than the chrome, and yeah, when I got the phone call, I couldn't get over there quick enough to pick up the car and get it straight home. Yeah. It was a one-off.
Yeah.
One-off.
I mean, it's obviously had an easy life, Rob.
Yeah, it's been looked after. It's a very good cruising car. Like sitting on 60 mile, window down.
Yeah. Rob, engine up front.
Okay, it's a matching numbers car. It's got a red 161 in it. Automatic on the column. That's about it. Very standard. No radio. Very original.
It's amazing, these old six-cylinder engines. It's not just the Holdens either. I mean, you walk past an old Slant and a Valiant. These early six-cylinder engines, they ran like Rolexes, didn't they? And in terms of exhaust out the back, in stock standard form, you can't even hear them idling.
It's a very, very quiet car on the road. Even on the freeway, you hear more wind noise than what you do engine revving. It just loves cruising. They're a good motor.
Now, in the lounge room department, in the interior of the car, can't help but notice, Rob, the presentation of the vinyl, the seats, the dash layout, everywhere you look. I like that classy door card too. A little bit of Premier on there, a bit of wood grain.
Bit of wood grain, yeah, bit of wood grain. It's all original interior, unrestored. Bit of chrome here and there where you need it, but yeah, apart from that, it's very, very standard.
We look into the boot. there too, Rob. Beautiful, mate. The wheel brace, anodised, presentation, original rubber map. Just looks great.
Yeah, very, very stock, Fletch. Very stock. It's pretty much how you would have brought it out the showroom.
Again, it's the old cliche. You know, here we are in 2017. These cars have got quite a bit of age to them, and to see one preserved today, pretty well similar to when it was brand new, I reckon that's a big thing.
No, they are still out there. They are getting thin on the ground now, but it's good to see them out in the road, not in warehouses and sheds. They've got to be driven, got to be enjoyed.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thanks, Fletch.
Announcing the new Holden 48215, modern state-of-the-art design with smoother rounded lines, allowing you to slip through the air more freely. A new roofline so the man may wear his hat in comfort. Holden, Australia's newest car, gives you an unparalleled interior that most European cars can only dream about. With all new, firstly advanced trim levels only crafted by the best people in the design department at General Motors Holdens. Ride is like driving on a cloud with Holden's smooth lever action shock absorbers. Look at the cockpit styling around the dashboard area and fantastic visibility across a shapely bonnet. And Holden gives you colours. Choose cream, black, blue or grey, but you cannot tell here because this commercial is black and white. Holden's new 3-speed manual gearbox is easy to use with a little practice, so this year, now the wife can drive. We dare you to say that in 2017. Up-front engine department is most powerful in its class. A 2171cc 6-cylinder engine producing 60 horsepower and will return you almost 30 miles per gallon of petrol sitting at an incredible speed of 60 miles per hour. Australia's Holden, priced from £733. Holden, it's new, it's for you. Look up your directory and phone 7 to book your test drive today. There's nothing quite as iconic as, of course, the early model Holden. How are you, Raymond?
Very well, thank you. Fletch?
That's good. Now, you've got a beautiful 1955 FJ here.
Yes, that's true.
It's gleaming here in the paddock.
Yes.
Are you proud of it, are you?
Oh, definitely, yes. I've had it for many years.
How many?
Going on to 49 years.
You've had it for 49 years?
Yes.
So it looks like you're going to keep it then.
Oh, definitely. Raised 5 children inside in the car.
Wow, well, you didn't have a house. You raised them all in the car.
I certainly did.
These are the lovely stories, aren't they? A gentleman to have a car for so long. This must be like a limb for you, Ray, like you could just never part with this.
No, that's true. Once you get a car like this, you take a great deal of pride in keeping it and keeping it up to standard and making sure that it gets passed down into my children so they're able to enjoy it themselves too.
Ray, you've gone through some of the best decades here in Australia, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and all that time you've had this beloved Holden here behind us.
Yes, I haven't been perturbed by the modern versions of other cars, stuck to the one and found it's served me quite well.
Raymond, tell us, over the years, has it been a good car, number one? And number two, what have you had to do to the car? Anything major?
Oh, yes. I've had a full restoration on it 13 years ago because the paintwork on the car was starting to fade. I saw the gentleman who was going to do the job and he said to me, "Why do you want to have it done?" I said, "Because I'm starting to lose interest in the car because of its fading." So he said, "Right, we'll turn around," and he did a full restoration on the car, which was quite a big job. Yeah.
How many miles has the car done, Ray?
The car itself has done 600,000 miles since the day it was built in 55.
God, I thought it was
1 million kilometres.
I thought it was only my old Fairlane was the only car on the road with miles like that. It's not every day you speak to a fella that you've done massive mileage in this car. Now, engine-wise, has it stood up obviously well?
Yes, it's on its second engine, and the engine that's in there now has done 500,000.
Yep.
And hasn't had any major work done to it other than cosmetic repairs.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that you do not need high-tech engineering to get durability and tens of thousands of miles. But keep in mind, back in 1955, this was considered as high-tech.
Well, in 1955, I bought it from Dustings of Burwood, and I paid $500 for it, which was quite a considerable amount of money. Having 5 children myself, it was stretching the budget.
Anyway, how much? Sorry, Ray. How much were you earning back in those days? Can you remember?
About $17.
17 a week.
Yeah, $17. Yeah. And when I did purchase the car, the man from the yard came out to me and he said to me, son, he said, when you buy one of these cars, you never have to buy another car. He's the only trade person in motor cars that's ever told the truth, because I've still got it.
That's amazing. What a beautiful story, Ray. It's a pleasure meeting up with you today. I just love the car in its entirety. It's all here. It's all complete. The chrome work is beautiful. The paint is beautiful. The interior is beautiful. It must be quite an emotional thing when you sit back in the shed at night or through the day and you look at this car, the thoughts that must run through your mind when you look at this.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Yeah.
You've had so much life with it.
Yes, I've not needed another car really, because that is the car, the FJ.
Yeah. Good on you. I mean, FJ, let's face it, they wrote songs about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, yeah. Some dirty ditties too.
All right, Ray, well, you take care of yourself, mate. It's a bit warm here today in Geelong. I'll let you go and sit back down, and I really appreciate your time.
Thanks very much, Fletch.
You're welcome, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray.
Bye-bye then.
Bye. Well, I hope you're really enjoying the 2017 Geelong All Holden Day. Stay right where you are. There's more classics coming your way right after this.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Heron Forbes Machinery House has been family owned and operated for over 85 years, and it's easy to see why. And with a range like this, you cannot go wrong. Planning on welding? Look at these welding tables and clamps. Air compressors and different air tools. Sandblasting cabinets, through to spray guns. Everyone is welcome at Machinery House, and they're also open Saturday mornings. Their range of machine tools are workshop tested. There are competitive freight rates around Australia, and you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. So remember, Hare and Forbes has the range.
Australia's changed over the last 80 years, and Ryco Filters has changed with it. But one thing stayed the same: Ryco's commitment to develop and test all our filters under Australian conditions. Today, we're proudly celebrating our 80-year commitment to a design philosophy that ensures all oil, air and fuel filters meet or exceed vehicle manufacturers' specifications, delivering genuine quality and performance you can trust. Ryco Filters, the professional's choice.
Evans Waterless Engine Coolant. Simple to install and stays good for the life of the engine. Suitable for all engine types, Evans contains no water, eliminating corrosion, vapour pressure and overheating. With a boiling point of 190 degrees Celsius, there's no application or environment too extreme. evanscoolants.com.au. Water for drinking, Evans for cooling.
I have with me now the president of the FXHZ Holden Car Club here in Geelong. We've got Brett. How are you, Brett?
I'm very well, thanks, Fletch. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Now, we're in for a big day. Numbers are good. Cars are pouring through the gates. Are you happy so far?
Well, we couldn't be any happier.
It's always a great show here. It's one of the biggest in Australia when it comes to the classic Holdens. There's also some late model stuff here as well. Right across the board, just about every make of Holden is here.
That's right. We've had everything, so but every model Holden.
Of course, to supporting many charities as well. A lot of the car shows today do that, which is behind the scenes stuff, which is just incredible, and everyone just gets in and does such a marvellous job. Now, people watching, they want to join your club. How do they go about doing that, Brett?
Well, they just look on the website for our club details. www.fx-HZ Holden Car Club. Yeah. And they can find us on there.
It's all easy these days too with social media and everything. You can find it through Facebook and what have you. So again, Brett, the 13th annual Geelong All Holden Day here for 2017, mate. You've done it again. You've certainly been going a number of years now.
Yes, we've been going. This is our 13th year, 7 years with you, Fletch. So 2007 we invited you along and you...
Been that long, geez.
That's how long it's been, but nearly a life sentence.
Good on you. All right, Brett, see you back here in 2018, mate, and keep up the good work between now and then, because it's a mammoth exercise getting this together.
It is, and we look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brett. Now, Daniel, this car here is loaded with trinkets, accessories, all the NASCO gear. Matter of fact, I think there's more NASCO accessories on this car than what were ever made even in the first place. Where'd you get all this stuff from?
Look, more or less, I used to work at a wrecking yard years ago. It was an old school wrecking yard. It was anything from an FX to probably a HZ. And from that, we'd go to all the swap meets, and I think that was the best way at the time. It was before eBay and all that sort of thing. And I was just digging around boxes, and you'd buy 10 sets of mirrors, for instance, until you find the right set. And any bit of chrome that I reckon would look any good. Just hunting around and meeting people and going to farms and things like that. A bit like what them pickers do on TV nowadays, you know, but it was before I had a name for it.
Right. Daniel, I love the lines of this car, how it sits. It's just so original. The rear wheel covers, as they call them in the United States, or spats here in Australia. Even around the fuel door, you've got a feature piece of stainless there. To think this car has not been restored. It's lasted since 1962. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. We've had it for probably 10 or 12 years or so. It was an original car when we bought it from an original owner.
Yeah.
And we've just dressed it up. It's more or less, a lot of our friends are into Chevys and hot rods and such, so we always liked Holdens. So Dad and I, we thought, well, we'll make our Holden into a bit of a hot rod sort of thing. Yeah. So it's more or less like a baby Chev. We've got a lot of the accessories. If they're not NASCO, they're sort of copied from the American.
It's probably, it's as heavy as a Chev because of all the stuff you've got on it.
Yeah, you're right. It's a lead sled, more or less.
Daniel, the seats, I love the interior. I mean, again, this car just hasn't been subject to any abuse or a lot of use from 1962. I mean, although the vinyl has faded in colour a little bit, there's still how they left the factory back in 1962.
No, look, it is. It's the original trim. I think the colours, the red and the white, they really do something with the grey. It's a real nice colour. And even the pattern, I think compared to an EH, it's probably more of a 50s pattern. I think it's a bit more dressed up. It's a little, not in your face, but it's a nice design. I think it complements the colour well as well.
Yeah. Now up front too, we have the 138 grey engine.
Correct, that's right.
The very last before the transition of the red.
It was, that's right. Still goes all right though. Yeah. For what it is.
Yeah. They run smooth, don't they?
Oh, like a dream. It's so quiet. Yeah. It's good on fuel as well, and it still sits on 110 or 70 mile an hour odd.
Well done, mate. I look, I love this car, again, because I'm saying this because we don't see a lot of EJs. There was an EJ in my family many years ago. One of my uncles had an EJ. It was actually pink. It was a pink EJ.
Yeah.
And whenever I knew they were visiting that afternoon, I'd wait out the front an hour before they got there to see it come around the corner and pull up and park. And I guess, that car would have been an old car then, but it was in pristine condition. And see, there's a tug on the heartstring of memory for myself when I see an EJ. So we've all got one somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Look, I was brought up with these things. The newest car I've got, it's a 65 panel van.
Right.
So I know what you mean, and you do. I think a lot of people here and a lot of these shows and the prices of cars nowadays is people, they go back to what they grew up with or what their parents had, the old man had, and it brings back a lot of memories, it does. And I'm still trying to live my memories, so hopefully I'll drive them as long as I could buy fuel.
I love a situation where someone might say to me, I'm not a car person, I'm not into cars at all. And all you have to say to that person is, when you're a little girl or when you're a little boy, what's the first car you can remember? And straight away they'll think, oh yeah, it was my grandfather's car. He had an old Holden. And straight away they start talking about it and they're kind of semi-hooked. So it just goes to show there's a lot of people out there that have got those memories.
Yeah, you're right, Fletch, especially about old Holdens. I think it's a real thing about Australians is, the old Holden and the memories. Being pulled over by many policemen saying the same sort of story as well. So, yeah, you're right, Fletch, you're right.
That's what it's all about. Thanks, Daniel.
My pleasure, no worries, thank you.
That's all right, mate. Thanks for turning up here to the 2017 Geelong All Holden Day. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Just some of the amazing 2017 Geelong All Holden Day. What a testament to Australian production to see the mighty Holden showcased here today at an event such as this. And if you haven't taken a look, 2018 may have your name on it. In the meantime, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.
Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Ryco Filters, Evans Waterless Coolants and Pace Farm.